Bally Sports Live presents Path to the Show with Prospects Live.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Path to the Show on Bally Sports Live and Stadium. We are your friends, your hosts, your boys, the Prospects Live guys. I am Drew Wheeler, member of the Prospects Live Dynasty team and podcasting team, and with me as always, he is the face of baseball media, the free-range human himself, and the director of pro scouting at Prospects Live. Don't you roll your eyes. Those are great nicknames. Mr. Reese White. It's so nice to be here with you, pal. How are you?
It's fantastic. I get to see Drew more often than probably anybody else outside of my girlfriend and my parents. So it's really nice to talk with you on here at the show.
Absolutely, man. We've got a loaded show. We're talking about a lot of things. Lots of prospects called up. But before we get to that, do have a little bit of housekeeping we want to take care of. If you're unaware, prospectslive.com is the best place to find all of your baseball media across the internet. You can get live looks, scouting reports, dynasty tools and insights, podcasts, things for your cards, all kinds of things to make you enjoy baseball a little bit more and to help you love this game a lot more. So if you're interested, membership starts as low as $5 a month. You can see more of my work, Reese's work, and the wonderful work of the whole staff over there at prospectslive.com. But Reese, we are going to talk about some of the top storylines in baseball. And as I said, we led off with this. There have been tons of promotions. It's almost like we've been heard, ? So if you don't mind, buddy, let's talk about some of the guys that have achieved their dreams. They've been called up to the show. Excelsior and onward. Top prospect in the game, according to many. Roman Anthony of the Boston Red Sox finally is called up. Came Monday night at Fenway Park. Anthony went 0 for 4. Did collect an RBI, though. Curious, Reese, what is it about Roman Anthony that earned this call up, and walk us through what he's done thus far this season?
Roman Anthony has done nothing but earn this call up. He's been hitting well. There's good contact. There's good power. There's a good approach here. So he's performed more than well enough to garner people wanting for him to be called up. So now we finally get a chance to see him against Major League pitching, and he's hitting the ball hard when he doesn't make contact. So it's good to see.
No surprise. Honestly, we saw him very, very recently hit a near 500-foot home run. I don't think hitting the ball hard is going to be something Roman Anthony ever struggles for. Maybe if he was to be restricted from using his hands during an at-bat, he couldn't swing the bat hard. Otherwise, I think he's going to be swinging the bat very hard. Was hitting 288, 423, 491 with an OPS of 913 at AAA Worcester. 10 homers, 29 stakes in this season. I'm curious, what's he going to bring to the Red Sox, Reese? This is a team who we've kind of long suggested this was overdue, but now that he's here, what do Red Sox fans need to look out for this guy, Roman Anthony?
He's going to provide them, like I said, a power bat. He's going to make good swing decisions, probably hit towards the middle of this lineup, when he's, figured out and everything, gone through his acclimation period. He's going to be a good defender in a corner too, which is going to be a nice little boom for him. He's going to be, I don't know if he's ever going to be a superstar, but I think he's going to be a very, very good player for quite a long time.
I think so too. Really quickly, you said it, really good player for a really long time. Give me some kind of an idea of the ceiling. Maybe relate Anthony's ceiling to that of another major leaguer, if you could. If you can think of one right off the top of your head. If not, that's okay.
I can't think of one right off the top of my head, but I'm thinking like a 260, 270 batting average guy who maybe in his best season sets 30 to 35 home runs.
I mean, that's pretty great. You can associate that with any names you may be able to think of at home. That's a great player no matter what, though, and a player the Red Sox are going to love to have. And now, Reese, as you well know, this means that the three-headed monster of Red Sox prospects have all been called up. That is Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, Christian Campbell. Is this the new core for the Boston Red Sox?
I think they hope so. I don't know if Anthony's going to stay around for very long. It's an IL stint. That's the reason that he's called up. So I think there's a chance that he gets bumped down. But yeah, this is the core that they're hoping to build around. This is the young, exciting hitters that they hope is part of the next team that wins maybe another World Series and for Boston.
Absolutely. Do you think that these promotions, brief as they may be, acclamation-oriented as they may be, Reese, I liked that expression a moment ago, do you think that this is going to boost the Bo Sox back into the AL East race, or is this maybe just a temporary stopgap, bone thrown to the fans?
I think that this kind of puts them back into the wild card race. I think the Yankees are going to run away with this division. The Red Sox pitching woes have been, outside of Garrett Crochet, who's been fantastic this season, it seems like they have a ragtag group of heroes putting it nicely to fill in their rotation. And unfortunately, none of Anthony, Meyer, or Campbell can pitch that we know of. You never know these days. So I think that they're firmly in the wild card race. But I think this is a team that could also buy or sell, and then to help out the future chances for the squad.
Maybe retool rather than a fire sale.
Yeah.
I like that. But speaking of pitching, one team's woes, another team's strengths. The Milwaukee Brewers have called up yet another of their pitching prospects, this time the one that sits atop the pile. Jacob Misiorowski has been called up to the majors, ranked number 2 in the Brewer system by us at Prospects Live, number 4 by the old pipeline at MLB.com. Reese, he was nasty, for lack of a better word, nasty this season at AAA. 4-2 record, 2.13 ERA with an international league leading 80 strikeouts. Here's the kicker, only 31 walks. Has Jacob Misiorowski figured out the walk problem, and what's he going to bring to the Brewers?
He's turned the corner as far as his control goes. I still think the command is a little bit up in the air, but he's throwing more strikes than he has as a professional. And that's ultimately what's caused everything to play up. I mean, the stuff's nasty. We've never doubted the stuff. It's always, can he throw enough strikes? And right now he's showing that he can. Do I think there's going to be some acclimation period to, Major League Baseball, and maybe it's the command's not as great in the beginning and the control? Maybe, but I think he'll ultimately settle in, and if they allow him just to be like, a set it and forget it starter for them, for a team that has Chad Patrick, Quintana, I believe, is in this organization still. So this is a team that has a chance for some upside, and they're not totally out of it yet either. So Misiorowski can kind of be that spark plug, big pitching prospect that they kind of need.
I think so too. Let's say that everything does click for Misiorowski going forward. Let's say 2026 and beyond for Milwaukee. What does Misiorowski represent for this team, Reese?
Misiorowski presents their best chance at having a top of the rotation starter. I think in this organization, there's nobody who has the upside that he has. Now, there are clear and obvious pitfalls in his ability to throw strikes and everything, but I think that this is their best chance with Freddie Peralta sort of, sliding a little bit. Freddie Peralta's not been as Freddie Peralta-y as we would have liked. And this is an organization that doesn't have the next guy, a next ace. So I think Misiorowski gives them the next chance to do that, to have that.
It is unfortunate Freddie Peralta has been neither as Freddish nor Peraltish as we normally expect of him this season, Reese. Curious, you brought him up. Let's go ahead and kick this can down the road. Do you think that Misiorowski, Logan Henderson, we've seen these guys come up and be effective, if not dominant, at the major league level? Do you think that this means that we might see a trade out of the rotation? Aaron Savali is a name that's getting bandied around really frequently right now.
I think that Aaron Savali's days in Milwaukee are numbered. I honestly do. I think that this is the depth that they have in this organization kind of makes it to where they can trade him off, get some pieces back, and kind of reload for next year.
I know that one of our shared favorite jokes, Reese, is get ready to learn blank player's name. Where can we expect Aaron Savali? What's he going to need to learn here?
Ooh, he's going to need to learn. That's such a good question. I don't know off the top of my head.
Get ready to learn somewhere other than Milwaukee, Aaron Savali. Trade might be coming your way. The White Sox, Reese. We started with red, added bleach. Now our Sox are white. 2 prospects in the top 10 promoted to the major leagues this week. Starting with catcher Kyle Teel, one of my favorite players in the minor leagues, as you well know, Reese, and right-handed pitcher Grant Taylor. Lots of discussion about Grant Taylor in the Prospects Live staff chat recently. Let's start with Kyle Teel, though. Hitting 295, 394, 492. Love that slash line with an OPS of 886 this season. 8 bombs, 30 stakes for this young man. Kyle Teel, how is he going to impact the White Sox?
He's going to become their catcher of the future. I think with him and Cuero, they can kind of mix and match. Maybe Cuero's the one who moves over to first base. I think Kyle Teel is also more than athletic enough to handle, a corner outfield spot. Also first base. So I think that he provides them another young bat that they can sort of hope and dream on now that we don't have to watch Andrew Vaughn or anything like that.
Wow, Ripperoonie. Let's talk about Grant Taylor, the right-hander. This season, 0-1, but the record doesn't mean as much when you have a 1.1 ERA over 26 innings, nearly 27. 37 strikeouts to 11 walks. People are questioning whether the future is in the bullpen or in the rotation. We've seen the White Sox play these funny games before with their starting pitching prospects, and then eventually they are right where you would think, in the rotation. Do you think that Taylor's future is in the bullpen, or is he a starter?
I think he's in the bullpen, and I think he has a chance to be one of the higher impact arms coming out in the bullpen for quite a long time. I mean, the delivery is always screened reliever. There's always been command issues, but no one's ever questioned the stuff. I mean, we're talking about someone whose fastball. I mean, in a brief, stint in the major leagues, it's getting 101 with 7 feet of extension coming down the mound. It's pretty nuts, which makes this stuff play up. I believe I saw a tweet out there that said the fastball plays like it's 102 miles per hour, which is pretty
Yes.
nuts. And then with all the movement profile that he has such good stuff that I think he could be not Mason Miller, but he can challenge to be a top 5 reliever in baseball.
A fastball dominant reliever with a movement heavy, quick moving fastball is lethal in today's relief society, is I guess the word that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Today's relief society. Let's move forward, though, from one flamethrower to another, Reese. The Cincinnati Reds have promoted he with the best pitching name in the world, because I'm still yet to find the prospect named Johnny Strikeouts. Chase Burns promoted to AAA, just as we all predicted. In his first season, he will skyrocket through the minor leagues. Started at high A this season, quickly promoted to AA Chattanooga, now in AAA. Recently, 6-1 record with the Lookouts. That's in the eastern side of the greatest state of them all, if you're wondering. 1.29 ERA over 42 innings pitched, 55 strikeouts, Reese, 4 walks. First question for you. Is Chase Burns human?
I question when I watch him if we're the same species, because what he's able to do with the fastball and the slider, I believe he also mixes in the curveball. The changeup's also really, really good. We're talking about one of the most complete pitching prospects in all of baseball. And honestly, I think there's a chance that he's the number 1 prospect when Roman Anthony graduates from prospects at him. Honestly, that's if Chase Burns doesn't graduate as well. We're talking about one of the higher octane arms in all of baseball, because he could be up in the majors in the next 2 or 3 weeks with the way in which the Reds are fast tracking him. And he's done nothing but show that he deserves to be up with the major league squad. He's probably their best pitcher on pure arm talent right now.
Honestly, it feels like we talk about a player and we give teams like grief for not having called them up, and then before you know it, there they are. So yeah, Cincinnati Reds, what are you, chicken? You're not afraid, are you? Cowards. I'm totally kidding. We totally love you, Cincinnati. Take your time with this young man, except, I don't know, maybe call him up. Reese, what's the ceiling here? I mean, is Burns looking like an ace? Is he at best a number 2 type guy, a 3 with extreme upside? What are we looking at with Burns?
I think with the extreme upside, he's one of the top 10 pitchers in all of baseball. I think there's a chance that he's the ace for the Cincinnati Reds. I don't know if that means that he's a technical ace, but we're talking about at least an SP2 going forward. I think that we're talking, like I said, crazy stuff, good command, everything, all sorts of plays. And honestly, what does he have to prove in AAA?
We've asked that question many, many times, and I can't seem to find an answer for many of these guys. Reese, if you don't mind, shall we take a quick pause because we have fetched the best video of all the call-ups, and we're excited to share it with you at home. So we're going to watch alongside you. Take a look at this, Reese, and we're going to have something to say about it before we go to break.
Hey, come on in, big dog. Have a seat. Hope you're doing well, man. Hey, I got some news for you. I think you're going to like it. Last year you got called up to AAA, did a really nice job, but we still thought we needed some work down at the lower levels. We put a plan in place. You went down, you did your work, you made some improvements. And the one thing that the front office noticed, man, you were working your tail off every single day. And you did a nice job coming back to AAA this year. But I'm excited to tell you, the front office, the GM, the president, the owners, they're excited to invite you to Nats Park for your call up to the major leagues on June the 14th. Congratulations.
Reese, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. My heart simply cannot tolerate this. Bruce the Bat Dog has finally lived his dream. It's been a dog's age since I've seen a video that I instantly resonated with as much as this one. Say something good about this good boy. Please, Reese.
Big Dog looked primed and ready to make his major league debut. I'm so excited to see him up with the big league squad.
You know, we do know we're in the game of scouting, Reese. Bruce, 80 grade fielder, 80 grade run, 80 grade lettuce on this guy. Did you see that? It's almost like he had all over beautiful blonde locks. Bruce is going to be a
Elite vibes
superstar
guy.
in the nation's capital. Yeah, exactly. I think he's going to lead by example, but still, he's the type of team player that's going to follow as well. But guys, if you would, please go check that out on social media because I know that you want to watch it again and again. But in the interim, sit right there, lean back. We got a little bit more to go on Path to Show today, so stay with us because when we get back, we're talking about some of the players in the minor leagues that have really, really raked. So sit right there. Path to Show, Bally Sports Live in Stadium. We'll be right back.
Stream every 2025 MILB game for free on Bally Sports Live. Triple, double, high, or single A, it's all here. And it's always free on Bally Sports Live. Bally Sports Live's MILB channel is where baseball's future lives. Visit BallySportsLive.com or download the app today.
Welcome back into Path the Show here on Bally Sports Live and Stadium. We're through the first 2 months of the MILB season, and there have been some really hot stretches over the first couple of months. Let's take a look and highlight some of these guys who are really lighting it up across the minor leagues. Let's talk about J.J. Weatherholt. You know, he went from being discussed as one of the best players in his draft class to all of a sudden, no one's talking about him. He's hitting .313, .432, with an OPS of 905 in Double-A Springfield Cardinals. Shout out the Simpsons. He has 4 home runs, 21 RBIs on the year. He has 24 strikeouts to 29 walks. What is his timeline to St. Louis here, Drew?
It's interesting. His 2023 season as a junior at West Virginia, I thought he was going to come in as the number 1 with a bullet into last year's class for the MLB draft. And alas, a hamstring aggravation kind of sent him slipping a little bit. That's more of a shame on me than anything and other evaluators of that class. Weatherholt has got a really special bat, Reese. I know you asked about the timeline, and this is me telling you about the fact that his tools necessitate the fact that he could be a very quick mover, right? There's really, really good whiff rates, really good contact rates, manipulates the barrel at a very good clip as well. At least he did last season. I think that there's some pull side power, but I think that really it is the average, the speed, and then the versatility defensively that's going to buoy his kind of very impressive profile. I do think that Weatherholt is going to be a quick one. Let's say 2026 to be comfortable, maybe summer 2026. I think we could start to see Weatherholt take root in St. Louis.
I think he breaks camp with the team in 2026. But let's move on to another prospect. Let's talk about Bryce Cunningham. High A Hudson Valley Renegades for the Yankee system. He's currently 5-1 over his 7 starts. He has the second lowest ERA in the South Atlantic League with a 1.93, 47 strikeouts to 11 walks. What do you think Bryce Cunningham's ceiling is here, Drew?
Ooh, that's tough. Cunningham is a guy that I watched quite a bit, being that he was a Vanderbilt player. I'm excited for him. I do think that he's in a good organization. We talked about this a lot in the offseason, Reese, about how guys that are change-up oriented, the Yankees just seem to work with them in a way that optimizes their strengths. I think that's good because what I'd like to see out of Cunningham is maybe a little bit more on the fastball, maybe some more command development. But I think that all this is really likely to happen. Like you said, we're seeing the results right now. An incredibly low strikeout to walk ratio, the second lowest ERA in the South Atlantic League. I'd say that we're still going to wait a little bit for Cunningham, but this is everything you want to see, at least in terms of his pro development thus far. Ceiling of a mid-rotation starter right now feels safe.
What do you think his timeline is to the Bronx?
Oh my gosh, you had to ask. May 2027.
I'm with you on lockstep. Okay, let's move on. Let's go over to Las Vegas, everyone's favorite travel destination. Colby Thomas, the 3rd-ranked prospect for the Sacramento Athletics. He has been mashing in Vegas, his future home, maybe some might say. He's hitting 306, 367, 571 with an OPS of 938. He has 15 home runs, 4th most in the Pacific Coast League with 52 RBI, 2nd most in the city. Why is this guy still in the minors?
That's a fabulous question. I think that at this point the org may want us to think that he's just kind of developing, but honestly, maybe it's because there's only so many spots. We're still seeing Denzel Clark kind of get his extended audition, his trial by fire, if you will. I think that we will likely see something similar for Colby Thomas. He's such a favorite among the guys at Prospects Live, and I have to shout out the Dynasty Pickups guys, both Taylor and Kyle. They have been super big fans of Colby Thomas and have honestly pushed my liking of him up more than I ever thought it would be, because I really think this is a loaded system. But Thomas has been mashing. I don't know why they're waiting to call him up, but I do think we see Colby Thomas with his own trial by fire, his own extended tryout in 2025.
I also think that's when we see him. Let's move on to the final prospect we want to highlight here. Let's talk about Franklin Arias, someone that you were very excited when we were talking about when we were going through the pre-show rundown. He's currently hitting 353, 392, 519, with an OPS of 911. He has 3 home runs, 25 RBIs over 31 games. What do you think that his future looks like with the Red Sox?
I think that Franklin Arias looks, this is just me, this looks like a guy who can impact the game in every way while not being a hyper standout in any way other than maybe batting average. I think that 15-15 in terms of home runs, stolen bases would be an exceptional turnout with a 300 average. I think that we're seeing Arias mature into a guy that looks like he could even be more than that. This is a guy that we said, hey, all the tools are present, maybe just in a minimal way. But as the years go on and time continues to tick, it's all these skills are just matriculating and bettering and bubbling and fostering until we're going to have a really, really dangerous offensive player on our hands here. Of course, Reese, that does beg the question, and I'll pose a question to you if you don't mind. There is really no room for Arias at the moment in the infield. Do you think that maybe he'll be shuffled around, or is Franklin Arias a guy that we need to look out for trade watch, or what? What are we looking at here with him?
I think that we could be talking about him just staying in the organization, and then they kind of figure it out when he gets to the high minors, right? He's still in high A. He's still only 19 years old. So we got plenty of time to figure out. Maybe some things happen, an injury happens, an unexpected trade happens. Maybe one of these players that we really like in this Red Sox organization doesn't turn out the way that we hope they do. I mean, unfortunately, these sort of things happen. You know, baseball's not a very forgiving business, to put it kindly. So Franklin Arias has plenty of time for them to figure out the log jam. I do think that he moves off of shortstop. Maybe he moves over to second base. Maybe
Really?
He moves over to third base. Yeah. The one thing I'm also worried about with him is he doesn't walk a lot. There's no safety in the profile. It's a very he doesn't swing and miss a lot, but he doesn't walk a lot.
Yeah, there definitely does. That does kind of add an element of risk there for sure. Again, I think that if the bat can carry it, maybe getting on base will happen enough. But again, patience is something you'd always like to see out of batters, especially ones that look like Arias does, to be a guy that you could really anchor your lineup around.
And we're going to anchor this segment here. We're going to take our second break here on Path to the Show. Coming up, we'll recap the last week around the minor league baseball. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Bally Sports Live's MILB channel is where baseball's future lives. Visit BallySportsLive.com or download the app today. Path to the Show keeps rolling all off-season. Tune in to Bally Sports Live and watch as we dissect every club's farm system and top prospects. From single to AAA, we've got you covered.
Welcome back to Path to the Show on Bally Sports Live and Stadium. Reese, we have got just a moment to wrap this show up, but let's talk about one of the teams that has really gotten off to a hot start for the 2025 minor league season. Who you got on tap today, buddy?
We got the Brooklyn Cyclones, a high A affiliate of the New York Mets. We're going to take the bridge and go over to Brooklyn. The Cyclones are 39-18 with a run differential of plus 106. Their two standout prospects right now are Jacob Reimer, who has been fantastic this season, showing power, and he's showing contact. 308, 411, 557 with 8 home runs. And then you have Carson Bench, one of my absolute favorite prospects, 298, 416, 486. He's one of the most underrated prospects in all of baseball.
Some could say they've been on a power binge lately. I won't. Reese, tell the folks at home where they can find you between our episodes, sir.
you can find me over on Prospects Live. I am writing every day. I'm writing articles. I'm doing podcasts. I've got some interesting content coming out soon. You can also follow me on Twitter at Reese B. White. You can also follow me on Blue Sky, which I started to realize that I should post there more, at Reese White on Blue Sky, however they do their weird nomenclature for their app.
Yeah. And you can follow me on Twitter Machine at Drew is okay. Blue Sky is the same. And follow us here on Bally Sports Live and Stadium all season long for Packed the Show. For Reese, I'm Drew, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Path to the Show keeps rolling all off-season. Tune in to Bally Sports Live and watch as we dissect every club's farm system and top prospects. From single to AAA, we've got you covered.